What's good, gamers? Welcome back to the channel. Today I would like to show you the deck that I've been using for Fusion Festival. Now before we go into it, I used this deck list. It was it was very much based on the deck list that Joshua Schmidt was playing on his stream. I did make a couple of player preference choices to it. Um, Literal three cards, but of course a huge shout out to Joshua Schmidt. He was a little bit of an older European pro player, and he's just coming back into the scene. He's live on Twitch as well, and his link will be in the description down below. Very, very awesome, humble guy, and he's definitely one of the best. And yeah, he built this deck very, very solid, and I really, yeah, I mean, if you look at the points, if you're not familiar with the Fusion Festival, every win is 500 points and every loss is only 50 points. And as you can see, we have 1150 points. 1100 is the last reward that you get gems on. So I stopped after this. But as you can see, we have 1100 points. We only have 50 points once. What that basically means is we went 22 wins and one singular loss. I can't even remember how we lost, honestly. But we've been playing for a couple of hours. We've been playing for 3 hours now, and we completed the event. So if you want to complete the event, then this is definitely the best deck to do it with. So let's go jump straight into it. Let's go edits. This is the deck that we have been using. I've been using the branded deck, of course. This is just new on Master Duel. It's very solid. I already had most of the cards, so that really helped. I really, really just love this deck. So it was a no-brainer for me to play this. Going into the deck profile, we play triple Despia and Tragedy. Now when it's sent to the grave or banished, you can search basically Aluber. You can send it to the grave with either Foolish or with Allure of Darkness. You can banish it and trigger its effects, which is just insane. Or you could just fuse it away, but you always search Aluber. Triple Ash, most important hand trap, also the only one that we play. Maxi is not that great because like not a lot of deck special summon a lot, so you don't really need anything else to keep it in check. Triple Edge Imp Chain. This together with Frightful Patchwork and Polymerization is the Frightful Patchwork engine. It just gives you a huge advantage. Immediately adds Poly to your hand and another monster you can fuse away. And it's just so much advantage. But Patchwork adds Poly and Chain, and when Chain is sent to the grave, you can add back Patchwork. So you have two polymerizations out of a single card, which is insane. We do play the DPE package with Celestial and Dasher. I play double Albas. This is where our lists differ. I didn't see Albas a lot of the time, but it was a very useful monster in the deck. So I opted to two Albas and one Ecclesia. And yeah, this was every time I saw this card, I was extremely happy. It gave me a lot of extra options to fuse to, which was something that Schmidt's list was lacking, in my opinion. So I changed that up to give a little bit more of it, more access to this card, and it was definitely solid. Aluber is the most important card in the deck. You play Dramaturge, helps for OTKing, helps for setting up boards, especially since it also triggers when your opponent fusion summons, you get a gate their monster immediately. I played double Albion. Joshua was playing three of these, and I would assume that he sent Fond of Albus to the grave with this. But I just got it down to two. This was one of the least. I don't know, maybe I just couldn't focus enough on this card, but I didn't like it. And Adliptum is just insane, summoning back anything that went from your fusion. I summoned back DPE a couple of times, Darkest Belly a couple of times, but also Aluber a couple of times to search my opponent's turn. Very nice. Double Poly, one Foolish, triple Lure, triple Patchwork, double Fusion Destiny. It's kind of weird. The amount of times you're gonna see Fusion Destiny is the same as you're gonna see the pieces because they're both at 2. But it was still MVP. I didn't summon this guy a lot. I think I won like 3 games with this max. Branded in white, you can fusion summon from your extra deck, but if you have Albas in your grave, you can banish it from the graveyard with the other material instead, so this helps you, which is also why I just like having Albas. This Theater of the Branded, which is a field spell at Polys, it also brings back fusions if your normal monsters die. This sucks in the mirror match. This is the worst card in the mirror match because it's really difficult to out your opponent's field. Super Poly is just the suckfest of the format. Branded opening can summon any Despia monster from your deck by sending one card from your to the grave. This triggers both Tragedy and Edge of Chain. I've used this to summon Aluber, I've used this to summon Tragedy, I've used this to summon Dramaturge as well. Multiple occasions, very solid. Branded in red, target a Despia monster grave added to your hand, then you can fusion summon a banishing from your hand. This doesn't really limit because it doesn't make you use the monster you add back to fuse, which was nice. I've multiple occasions I added back Aluber, fused something else, normal summon Aluber, get its effects. For the side, Mud Dragon never summoned it. Dangerous never summoned it. Storm Venom MVP definitely in this format with Super Poly. Dragon was very useful in this deck. Never summoned Titan Clash. Summoned Sprint once was very good. Gave me the game. Albion is really difficult because you don't really play any light monsters, so this will probably not come up. Quadrants was very solid. Came up 2-3 times. Summoned this guy 4 times. Masquerade is just the carry of the deck. When your opponent activates anything, they must pay 600, which is not an activated effect. They just have to do it. The main goal of this deck is you end on a singular Masquerade and a Dramaturge. And just vibe on that your opponent keeps paying life, and eventually you just poke them down. I think this is here for Super Poly. This is from Joshua's list. Just kept it in. This was just insane. Super Poly your opponent's field away. And I've never summoned Proscion. Never came up really. That's the deck. Overall, the matchups were very solid. I played against a lot of different stuff. I played Mirrors a lot. I played against Shadow. I played against Ancient Warrior. I only played Draco once. If you face more Draco, because I am in Gold 1, so I might be facing different opponents than you are, you could just put in triple Cosmic Cyclone or maybe even triple Twin Twister because it synergizes with the Etching Chain very well. That's definitely just a tip that I could give you. Next to that, just keep focusing on your own game plan. Super Poly is broken, but the chance that you're going to see it is very low, so you're not going to be able to rely on that solely. But you really, if you learn your patterns and you learn your plays and you learn your lines, then it's super easy to win with this deck, and you will notice that ending on 1 or 2 Masquerades will always give you the win, because that's honestly how I won most of the matches. Just ending on the double Masquerade was just insanity, and having the Dramaturge to either push for game or to negate anything that my opponent did was also just very, very solid. Um, Next to that, yeah, what is there to say? I fusion summoned using this and this from hand once was also insane. Oh yeah, one thing that I wanted to give up. Always use branded opening, especially in this event. A lot of people play Raigeki and a lot of people pay TPE. And if you have branded opening in your grave, you can banish it to protect any fusion that would die by card effects. I really focused on activating this as much as possible or discarding it as much as possible because it kept happening. My opponent just Raigekis and you just protect your double Masquerade. They pay 1200 life points and they just, I don't know, they just die faster. And I just banish branded opening and they keep living, and it was just such a good card. It's very nice to have this in the grave the entirety of the time, which is also the main send with Albion. You use this effect to send branded opening to the grave, or Albas if you need it. And then you just tribe up from there. Yeah, that's the deck list. 22-0. Was a fun event. Way better than the Synchro version. Didn't play against a lot of Draco. And yeah, overall, shout out to Joshua Schmidt. I'll leave his link in the in the description down below. And yeah, let me know in the comment section what you played for this event. And yeah, good luck. See you guys in the next one.